Hi, this is Judy with My Ugly Paintings, and I'm here today to show you some of my mark making tools that I've collected over the years. And what spurred the idea was that a couple of days ago I bought some multiple outlet thingies. I don't know what you call them. And as I was unpackaging them, I thought, well, I'm going to separate the cardboard, recycle the cardboard, but I can at least do that. And in the process, I discovered that they had these little plastic pieces that had like a tray. And I thought, well, this would be a great little tool for putting my brush in when I wanted to just not mix it in with my paint water yet, but I didn't want it to get mixed up with other stuff. So there was that. And then the other package had an even bigger one, and it had like a little basin so I could fill water and just really keep it wet. Anyway, so that was what spurred my thoughts, and I thought, I have a lot of stuff that I've found just from not throwing packaging away or just looking at things differently when I unwrap something. One of the coolest ones I found is I have a couple of these. They're really firm, heavy-duty rubber, I guess, that were used in a package for a table. I think they were to keep it solid. Anyway, they make really cool designs, and I was just looking at this. This could be a kind of a cool design. I've already used it. I had another one, but I've already used it, and you just paint it and then just press it onto your paper or whatever you're painting on, and it's really cool. I've also invested once a while ago in these little, I think it was like $7 or $8 for these little kids art project devices. They're just little rollers, they're sponge, and you just paint them and then you can roll out some really cool lines. They just are good ways to stimulate some other ideas. There's also these little tools that make little designs. This one's kind of like a tire tread. They don't work great, but any line I can make or any kind of mark is good. And then there's these that have little handles. They're kind of fun. Also with the kid thing, I bought a pack of letters they're just sponge. I've used them. You just paint them and then make a mark on there. So that's cool. I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's a baster, silicone, so you can just wash it right off. It makes really cool marks if you get a lot of paint on your palette or on your canvas, and then you just drag it through. It makes some really cool lines. I also have this one. It's got little tiny lines, or a fork. Obviously, you can use a fork. Corn cob holder. This one would make like 2 little lines, or a hair pick. Sometimes I save old paintbrushes that I've ruined by not rinsing them out. And they're hard, but you can make some cool marks with those. What else do I have? Oh, I've got some letters. These are little letter stamps that I used to do polymer clay, and I would, emboss things or make little letters. And these you can paint and make letters. They're not very big, but they're kind of fun. Also, stamps. You can buy these. I found all of these at St. Vincent de Paul. These 3. I have a ton more, but they're just little stamps, little rubber stamps. Used for stamping, which was a big deal, and scrapbooking. Well, you might have those if you already do that. This was off the end of a plug. When you get a new appliance, they put something on the end of the plug, and it makes kind of a cute little mark. This is the inside of a tape dispenser. It has a double little line. It makes a double line. The dart marking wheel. If you were in home ec class in the 70s or 60s or whatever, you might remember marking darts. This just rolls across, and it makes this really cute little serrated, or it's kind of like a sawtooth line. These little styrofoam, kind of that rubber plastic styrofoam, were holding something in some package I had. So I thought, well, I'm going to save those. Those might make a cute mark. And they do. They kind of look like little butts. They're kind of, you can do all kinds of weird things with those. And there's this little thing. I'm not sure what this is off of. I can never remember. but I'm going to use this. It looks like a cool mark. I have this little wing from some kind of ornament, I think. I'm not even sure where I get some of this stuff. These were on a birthday cake. They're leaves, and they kind of have they have the veins, it's raised, so you could probably use those. I'm going to try those one of these days. I have a spring that looks like it might make a cool thing. It may not work, but you know, I'm just trying to collect things. I have this chain I have a parrot, and this was part of his toy, and it also had these discs that were inside that were on the chain. And when he used up the stuff that was inside, I thought, well, I'm going to save the disc. And it has this design on it that works really well. It makes a really cool kind of a wagon wheel, or it could be you could use it as a flower, whatever, or just marks. And what else? Oh, and then, just your average sponge, obviously. I can make some just like sponge painting. We all did that probably in elementary school. Bottle caps, they're good for making marks. I got a thing of deodorant the other day. It had this thing on it, to protect it. And it's a great oval. So I thought, well, I'm not throwing that away. I'm going to keep that. And what else? This is part of a little shelf system that you put the little wire things in there, and it never stays together. So I thought that might make a cool mark. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. And then one last thing on my table. I have this little thing. I'm not really even sure what it's for. I have it for something. I don't know. But it has two wheels. It's kind of like the dart marking tool. This one has a little groove so that you can make two little lines, and then this one is just a single line. But this works well. But if anybody knows what this is, it's really lightweight. It doesn't weigh anything. And I've used it a lot, and I'm so afraid I'm going to lose it or it's going to break because I don't know what it is or where I got it even. I also, of course, have bubble wrap. I've got all different sizes of bubble wrap. Sometimes it comes in these big poofy ones. I have really big ones. And then I had one that I got that had like a different design on it. And it's kind of cool. Also, stencils. My son bought a game, and he popped out all the pieces, so I said, can I have that? And this might make a good shape. It's just fun to have shapes. I get tired of drawing circles and squares and triangles. It's just nice to have something to create a new shape that I can maybe copy and make a different size of, but at least gets me out of my head. Also, corrugated cardboard makes really cool shapes. If you tear off the paper, there's two pieces of paper there. If you tear them apart, this makes some really nice designs. I have a bunch of different kinds. This is mesh that I used to do mosaics, and this was called Mosaic Mount, I think. No, I don't. Now that's not what it's called. Anyway, I don't know what it's called. It's just like a mesh, and that makes some cool designs. Also, there are different types of shelf liner. This makes a good mark. This is another kind that kind of makes it, it's a little sloppier. You have to be a little more careful with that one. This was some packaging. I don't know what it was. And it makes a nice line. Same with this. These were some pens I bought. Has some raised things. So I don't know what they're going to look like. And the thing is, if you're using acrylics, you can just paint over it if you don't like it. And then I have, like, these were part of a package of cookies or something. And they're just little paper, kind of like the corrugated cardboard. This. Oops, making a mess. These were just little plastic things. So the whole reason I'm showing you all this is not to look at what I have. It's to give you ideas of other ways that other things you can do to create some unique marks. So here's another little one. This was one I had as a handy painter, It's really soft. It's got like little hairs on it. And it makes some interesting texture. Anyway, the sky's the limit as to what you can use, but I encourage you to think twice before you throw your stuff away. It's kind of a fun way to upcycle or recycle or use up things that you would normally throw in the trash. Oh, another one is just plastic wrap. I had an extra thing of plastic wrap that I couldn't fix. Sometimes if you daub that in your paint and put it onto your canvas, or you take it off of whatever's on there, it can make some unique little weird marks. So anyway, that's my tip for the day, and I hope that, sorry, I have allergies. I hope that you have a great creative day and you look at your garbage in a whole different light. All right, till next time.